to Yard Sports. My name is David Woldingen, and today we're going to be talking about Cardinal baseball. However, before we do that, please remember to hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel and then check out our other social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, just unpacking what's remaining with the season with the Cardinals. First and foremost, they're in a pennant race. They're currently leading the Brewers by 8 games with a little over 20 left in the season. And the next home series is against the Brewers. It's a 2-game series, but they have a chance to really just seal the deal, in my opinion. It's going to be real fun to watch. Not only that, they're 6 games behind the New York Mets for second in overall standing in the National League. And the reason why that's important is if they somehow are able to make ground on the Mets and overtake them, they will get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, so they don't have to go through that 3-game wild card like everybody else does, which would be a huge benefit to the team if they could pull that off. Now, not to overshadow all of that with the playoff potential and the playoff run coming up, but there's a lot of other things in the Cardinals organization going on, and I'm sure you're all aware of that. And it's just so much fun to watch. Is first, Albert Pujols and his conquest of 700 home runs, his passion to get to 700 home runs. At the beginning of the year, I honestly didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. However, especially after the All-Star break, he's been on fire. He's really torn it up. He hit 697 against the Pirates over the weekend, passing A-Rod to be number 4th in all-time home run leaders. And I honestly think he'll get to 700, and then he'll hit a couple more after 700 too, with what's remaining on the schedule. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching him down the stretch. I will say this, though. The next week and a half or so, I really hope he gets to 700, because after that, he's going to be on the road for almost 2 weeks. And if he doesn't hit it during his homestand, there's a good chance he's going to get 700 on the road, which will be a real shame to St. Louis, only because the movie S type emotion that comes with it, especially hitting it in St. Louis, where over half his career was, and all the memories of not only the fan base here with him and just all the special moments he's had with the organization, it would just mean the world to the city. And I know Pujols as well, so I would really love to see him within the next week or so just go on a tear and get the playing time he needs to get those 3 home runs. Not to mention, the moment they go on the road, I believe there's 3 nationally televised games, and you lose the opportunity for Danny Mack in the booth to call those last 3 home runs, which he's done a fantastic job in having some of those epic calls as he passed A-Rod. So I'd really hate to have someone who's not necessarily familiar with the Cardinals call the 700 home run. I also know there's an Apple TV streaming game, and I really hope he gets it done not on that streaming game, so everybody who has access to it can see it. I really want to see him hit it at home, just for the pageantry and the emotion of the fan base, the city, and honestly, it's like I feel like there's going to be movies made about this in the future. That's how emotional it is. Not only with him, but with the Yadier Molina and Wainwright, all 3 of them. I know Albert and Yadi have officially said they're retiring. Wainwright has not come out and said that, and I really don't think he will retire. I think he'll play a couple more years. But then again, who knows? If they end up winning the World Series, he might throw in the towel. And I might say, with the tear the Cardinals have been going on this season, I feel like this team is on a mission to win the World Series, and if they do, it's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, it's going to be so jam-packed with emotion this year. It's going to feel like the aftermath of the 2011 World Series, where I personally felt almost apathy towards baseball just because of how good that World Series run was for that year or two. And it took me a while to get back into all the games and get as emotional as I did during 2011. Well, especially if they continue this run, I feel like this year is the same. Uh, and with all this happening, I haven't even talked about what's going on with the current team. Well, Paul Goldschmidt, guys, uh, he's 2 home runs behind Kyle Schwarber, but he leads the league in RBIs and batting average, the National League, that is. If he's able to catch up with Kyle Schwarber, who's only 2 ahead of him in the home run list, he has a triple crown. He has a shot at getting that triple crown, uh, which hasn't happened, I believe, since the 1930s. And I could be completely wrong. I'm just going off the top of my head. But you put that in, and it's being overshadowed by Albert Pujols and all that. I mean, what a Paul Goldschmidt thing to do is to sneak in this type of season behind Albert, who's getting the major spotlight because this is the end of his career and he's breaking all these records. I mean, knowing Paul Goldschmidt as a guy who doesn't like to stand out, I mean, it's a perfect time for him to have a season he's having. So, with that, it's just going to be fun to watch. And I haven't even mentioned the fact that Arenado is putting up such good numbers that there could be a potential 1-2 vote in the MVP race with Goldschmidt and Arenado. Not saying it's going to happen, but I mean, the Cardinals have had players of the month 3 or 4 months this year, which is really hard to do. And I mean, I got to be honest with you, just the sheer amount of history and pageantry going on with this team right now, like, I feel it's almost inevitable that they're going to win the World Series. Not saying they're going to, because I know there's a lot of issues with this team. But just with the magic surrounding the team, I feel like it's a good chance that they could definitely make a push for it. Strap it in, folks. It's going to be a fun 20 or so games to the playoffs and even into the playoffs. And I'm ready to look forward to it and bring you more content as the season progresses to the finale. And then when we get into the playoffs, we'll have our predictions and analysis going on for the playoff series. So until then, stay tuned under the Arch Sports, and thank you for watching.